Where will the next Garmins and Cerners of the world come from?
Growing Entrepreneurs starts young. In the Blue Valley School District, it's starting in an innovative $12.5 million building where the next generation of entrepreneurs, engineers, and life science researchers are getting a head start while still in high school.
It's called the Center for Advanced Professional Studies, or CAPS. While many high school biology students are learning about DNA from textbooks, there are teens here actually extracting it from the saliva glands of fruit fly larvae.
More than 500 Blue Valley juniors and seniors are getting this opportunity in a program that's fast getting national attention. Producer Rich Miller takes us inside.
CAPS is just a really good way for kids who, go to the Blue Valley School District or who live in the boundaries, I guess, to get a, real-world experience for what it's like to work in their field of study.
Essentially, it's a program that immerses students in a real-world work experience, but it's not just a simulation like what some programs I've been in at school do. It's, we're working on actual projects with actual clients and actual people who need us to do this work for them, but we're learning and we're getting our high school credit at the same time.
Instead of just a learning and listening to lectures environment, you're actually doing projects to enhance your ability to actually work with actual businesses and understand how the actual world works.
I decided to become a mentor with CAPS because I looked at what I had available to me when I was in high school, and I knew that I wanted to get involved in really interesting engineering projects, but there just wasn't any coursework available. When I saw what they were trying to make available to students, I said, I have to be a part of this because it's something I wish I could have done.
This is all designed off of economic development. So we're designing programs that match where the market is going. The high demand, high skilled jobs is what this is designed after. When the market shifts and a career is big, then that's where we're headed. If a career opportunity is not, we drop it.
We created a program that we didn't want to be elitist. We didn't want just the kids that were had grade point averages above 4.0 here. We wanted kids that had an interest and a motivation that they could couple with their academic acumen to be a part of this. And so we don't have any kind of a screening process when it comes to grades or whatever. There is an application process. If kids are interested and they can convince us that they're serious about this, then we want to give them the opportunity.
There's a huge difference between CAPS and regular school. I mean, the first thing you notice just by walking in, we have a different dress code. We have to, dress, to what it's like to be in an office for whatever industry we're in. I chose business. We get the chance to actually work with real business people. They have a really good system of finding, people who are willing to work with kids and mentor us on what it really means to be in the business world.
We have over 360 mentors from the business community and 240 business partners, and that is the essence of why this thing is so unique.
There's a small business that needs a project done. Maybe they need a business plan, maybe they need a social media plan, maybe they need a website developed. We will do that for them, and we'll partner with them, and we'll do that at no charge because it's a great experience for our students to be involved with that, and they're, again, very, very relevant. I mean, it's a real-world experience. It's great for the business because they're receiving a quality product, at a price, quite frankly, that's very attractive to them. The large businesses that have come alongside of us, this is a tremendous recruiting base for them. I'm thinking of our engineering program.
Basically, the aerospace engineering program here at CAPS kind of introduces students just to the foundations of aerospace in general and lets them know, all the different avenues that they have for going into aeronautics or aerospace. In class, we try to do some of the foundation things as far as building models or using simulations to look at the fundamentals of flight and, how thrust and drag and those types of things work on aircraft. But then we try to take those to the next level in real-world projects where they're working with a mentor on something like building a flight simulator.
Garmin's involvement with CAPS program has included having people like me and some of our other engineers come to CAPS and mentor students. This includes one-on-one assistance with projects, and giving new ideas and different perspectives on how students can do problem solving in engineering. Other things that we're involved with include providing actual physical resources to the projects. Most recently, we've provided a G1000 glass cockpit system for the new CAPS flight simulator.
We looked around the country, quite frankly, before we embarked on this journey to see if there was something we could model after, and we just couldn't find anything. So we feel like this is somewhat of a pioneering effort.
We are now in our 4th year of operation, and we have seen national interest in this program. So about 50 school districts nationally have come through the building, taken a look at what we're trying to do, because it's all about authentic learning, and schools and school districts are really engaged in trying to figure out what the model of the future of learning is going to look like.
By no means do we feel like it's going to replace the comprehensive high school. We think comprehensive high school has a place, and there are kids that benefit greatly from that. But we do know, and we're evidence that there is a segment of kids, in fact a substantial segment of kids, that can really benefit from this type of relevance.
Believe it or not, students in the CAPS program have also created dozens of businesses and products, everything from rechargeable cell phones to a prosthetic knee brace, Randy.
Wow, some of these teenagers even have patents on their products.
Well, next week on The Local Show, we meet some of those enterprising students.
Lead funding of KCPT's reporting of education issues is funded in part by a generous grant from the Kauffman Foundation and additional civic funders.